France, the land of romance, wine, and the Eiffel Tower? Well, that's what they want you to think. But here's the crazy part. Beneath the surface, France hides a history so bizarre it makes fiction look boring. We're counting down 50 mind-blowing facts about the hexagon. Subscribe now to never miss unbelievable facts. Let's start with a king who thought he was made of glass? Seriously. King Charles VI suffered from glass delusion. He had iron rods sewn into his clothes so he wouldn't shatter. And then there's the Sun King, Louis XIV. In his 72-year reign, he only took 3 full baths. His scent was reportedly so strong it made diplomats faint. He just used dry silk and called it a day. But kings weren't the only weird thing. Did you know potatoes were actually illegal here? For 24 years, the parliament banned them because they believed potatoes caused leprosy. Talk about a bad reputation. And in 1386, a pig was arrested, dressed in human clothes and sentenced to death for murder. Think that's ancient history? France still has some of the world's most bizarre laws on the books. Did you know it's 100% legal to marry a dead person in France? You just need the president to sign off on it. Chapter 2. The castles they didn't tell you about. You think you've seen a French chateau? Think again. At Brézé Castle, the real action is underground. It's a castle beneath a castle with subterranean moats and even a bakery. Then there's the postman who spent 33 years building his own ideal palace out of stones he found on his mail route. Ferdinand Cheval spent 9,000 days cementing stones together to create this surreal masterpiece. Talk about dedication. Moving to Brittany, we find the Karnak stones, over 3,000 megaliths predating Stonehenge by 1,000 years. Why are they there? Legend says a local saint turned a Roman army into stone. Science? Still scratching its head. Want to go deeper? The Gouffre de Padirac is a massive natural sinkhole that leads to a subterranean river 100 meters down. You have to take a boat trip through a giant underground canyon just to reach the main chamber. It's like another world. Finally, check out the Abode of Chaos. A former coaching inn turned into an apocalyptic open-air museum with over 6,000 artworks. Local authorities have been trying to shut it down for years, but the chaos remains. Which of these hidden spots would you dare visit? Chapter 3. The Land of Bizarre Rules. Think you're a law-abiding citizen? In France, you might be breaking a law you didn't even know existed. In 1954, the town of Châteauneuf-du-Pape officially banned UFOs from flying over or landing. To this day, the law has never been repealed. Watch your bread. In France, placing a baguette upside down is considered terrible luck. Why? Because in the Middle Ages, that was the executioner's loaf. And don't get too romantic at the station. A 1910 law technically forbids kissing on train platforms to prevent departure delays. Think Russia is big? France actually holds the world record for the most time zones. Thanks to its overseas territories, it spans 12 different zones. Even the radio has rules. At least 40% of the music played on French stations must be in the French language. No Anglo-Saxon dominance allowed. And while it might be an urban legend, it was long considered a legal offense to name a pig Napoleon. The emperor was not amused. From alien bans to bread superstitions, France is a land of fascinating quirks. Which of these laws surprised you the most? Stay tuned for Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Dark Secrets and Hidden Heights. Think Paris is just light and luxury. There's a much darker world beneath your feet. Beneath the streets of Paris lie the Catacombs, a massive ossuary holding the remains of over 6 million people. It's the world's largest grave. But it's not just bones down there. Paris has ghost stations, abandoned metro stops that haven't seen a passenger in decades. Now let's go from the depths to the heights. Did you know Gustave Eiffel built a secret private apartment at the very top of his tower? He used it to host elite guests like Thomas Edison. Many offered him a fortune to stay there for just one night, but he always said no. And in the village of Rochemenier, people didn't just go underground, they lived there. It's a troglodyte village carved into the stone. These subterranean dwellers had entire underground farms and wine cellars to stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. From the bones of the Catacombs to the peak of the Eiffel Tower, France's secrets are everywhere. Which of these hidden spots is the most haunting? Chapter 5: Monsters, Masks, and Templar Gold. France's history isn't just quirky, sometimes it's downright terrifying. For 34 years, a mysterious prisoner was forced to wear an iron mask. His identity remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Then there's the Beast of Gévaudan. In the 1760s, a massive man-eating creature terrorized the countryside, killing over 100 people. King Louis XV even sent his own professional hunters to kill it. Was it a wolf, a lion, or something else? And we can't forget the Knights Templar. This powerful secret society was crushed by the French king in 1307, but their massive treasure, it vanished. Legend says it's still hidden somewhere in the French countryside, waiting for a lucky explorer to find it. Some believe the hoard is buried deep beneath the castle of Gisors. Treasure hunters have been searching for centuries, but the Templar gold remains lost. Monsters, masks, and missing millions. France is truly a land of legends. Which of these mysteries would you solve first? See you in Chapter 6. Chapter 6: Strange Inventions and Weird War History. France is a land of brilliant minds, but even the best geniuses have their off days. Long before the Instant Pot, a French physicist invented the bone digester in 1679. It was the world's first pressure cooker, designed to soften bones for food. King Louis XV had a taste for luxury even in his office supplies. He commissioned the first mechanical stapler, where every single staple was made of real gold. But nothing beats Napoleon's most embarrassing defeat. It wasn't an army that broke him. It was a swarm of bunnies. Napoleon's staff released thousands of domestic rabbits for a hunt, but instead of running, they swarmed him. The emperor had to flee to his carriage. To trick German bombers in World War I, France built a fake Paris 15 miles outside the city, complete with wooden replicas of famous landmarks. And when Paris was threatened, 600 Parisian taxis were commandeered to shuttle 6,000 soldiers to the front lines. The drivers even got paid the metered fare. In 1946, Louis XIV named his new minimal two-piece swimsuit the Bikini. He predicted the fashion would be as explosive as the atomic tests at Bikini Atoll. From gold staples to rabbit swarms, France's history is full of what were they thinking moments. Which of these inventions was the craziest? Stay tuned for Chapter 7. Chapter 7: Festivals of the Absurd and Culinary Myths. Think you know French culture? Get ready for the weirdest celebrations on earth. In the town of Trie-sur-Baise, they host La Pourcaillade, a festival where people compete to see who can make the most realistic pig squeals. Over in Menton, they build 10-meter-tall sculptures using over 100 tons of lemons and oranges. It's the ultimate citrus celebration. And on April 1st, watch your back. French children try to tape paper fish onto unsuspecting adults as part of the Poisson d'Avril tradition. Did you know mayonnaise was born from a victory? Legend says a chef improvised it with oil and egg yolks after capturing Port Mahon in 1756. But the most iconic French food has the strangest history. The baguette's shape was actually determined by a 1920 law. Bakers were forbidden from working before 4 a.m. Long, thin loaves cooked faster than round ones, ensuring fresh bread was ready for the morning rush. From pig squeals to fast-baking bread, French food and festivals are full of surprises. Which of these facts was your favorite? We're heading to the martyr village in Chapter 8. Chapter 8: The Village Frozen in Time and the Final Countdown. Our journey ends with some of France's most powerful secrets. Oradour-sur-Glane is a village frozen in 1944. After a tragic massacre, it was ordered to never be rebuilt as a permanent memorial. Today, you can still see rusted cars, sewing machines, and bicycles left exactly where they were over 80 years ago. It's a haunting reminder of history. But let's shift to a world record. Think you had a bad day at work? Try being king for just 20 minutes. King Louis XIX holds the record for the shortest reign in history. He became king during a revolution and signed his abdication papers almost immediately. From kings of glass to villages of stone, France is a country that never stops surprising. We've covered 50 mind-blowing facts. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell for more mysteries. Subscribe now to never miss unbelievable facts. Which country should get the next mind blow? Thanks for watching.